And this day after Super Tuesday has many speculating what's next for some of the struggling candidates. Cronkite News reporter Lauren Michaels joins us with the latest.
Although no one's dropped out over those Super Tuesday results, Ben Carson announced today that he does not see a future in the race for the Republican nomination and will not attend the next GOP debate. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton clearly have the momentum.
What a Super Tuesday!
Those words from Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton. Clinton won in 7 states, including the biggest prizes, Texas and Georgia. Clinton's total delegate is more than 1,000, giving her 71% of the delegates so far.
Now this campaign moves forward to the Crescent City, the Motor City, and beyond.
For Donald Trump, the Republican frontrunner, Super Tuesday made him the GOP leader.
I feel awfully good.
Winning 7 states out of the 11 total.
Next president of the United States, Donald Trump.
In the delegate race, Trump now has slightly more delegates than Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio combined, a quarter of what he needs to clinch the nomination. Cruz, a distant second, won Texas, his home state, along with Oklahoma and Alaska, but he knows he needs more victories to win the overall Republican nomination.
So long as the field remains divided, Donald Trump's path to the nomination remains more likely. And that would be a disaster.
Marco Rubio won in Minnesota and is not giving up hope.
The pundits say we're underdogs. I'll accept that. This is a country of underdogs, but we will win.
As for Senator Bernie Sanders, he won 4 states and believes he is far from out of the race.
This campaign is not just about electing a president, it is about transforming America.
These results possibly giving us a glimpse of who we may see on the ballot this November. The next presidential primary is scheduled for this Saturday, March 5th. The states participating are Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, and Nebraska. But the next big prize being talked about is Michigan. That primary is set for March 8th. In the broadcast center, Lauren Michaels, Cronkite News.
We have 2 guests joining us now to discuss Super Tuesday results and what the future is looking like for politics in Arizona.
Doug Cole is a Republican strategist and former top aide to Governor Fife Symington.
And Mario Diaz is a Democratic strategist and former Deputy Chief of Staff for former Governor Janet Napolitano. Thank you both for joining us today.
Our pleasure. Thanks.
Doug, let me begin by asking you, if you're on the staff of Ted Cruz or Marco Rubio, what's your strategy look like if you want to catch up and beat Donald Trump?
Well, it's a train moving down the track, and it's gaining speed, and there's a hill ahead, and it's moving fast. They got to go big on television in Florida. Florida's a huge television market, and this is a must-win for Senator Marco Rubio. We all thought that Ted Cruz, because of his appeal to evangelicals, would have done a lot better in the South. And he's really got to step it up in the few southern states that are left, that are coming up here shortly.
Excellent.
And now, Mario, for the Democrats, is there still a window for Bernie Sanders to come in and capture this nomination, or is it all wrapped up?
You know, this election seems politically inconceivable to me. And maybe mathematically there's an opportunity, but the trends show that Secretary Clinton is going to take this. And she may even take this in New York. April 19th is what I'm calling.
Mm-hmm. Interesting, very interesting.
Doug, for Republicans, we hear some in the party leadership nationally saying Donald Trump is not what we're about, but clearly Republican voters think otherwise. Can you explain kind of the disconnect there?
Well, he has really connected, Amber, with the folks that are anti-establishment. I think this last 8 years of the Obama administration, people really thought they were going to get hope and change, and they got neither. And I think they were duped. And so this is the backlash from Barack Obama by my political estimation. So people are looking to Washington, and they're looking for solutions, and they say, all these guys that have been here haven't given it to us, and we want somebody that, as rough as he is and as loud and obnoxious as he can be, they said, I'm going with that guy, because all these other guys that I've been following and supporting all these years, they're not working for me.
And now a question for both of you, and Mario, we can start with you. You mentioned Hillary might take it in New York. With Arizona's presidential preference election 3 weeks away, what kind of impact can there be for when that does come?
You know, Arizona will play a pivotal point for the momentum for the general election. Just because Hillary may wrap it up in New York doesn't mean the campaign is over. This is a campaign, as Doug said, that will continue, and especially for Hillary. There's no opportunity to let one's guard down. And for what Doug says about Trump voters, look, Trump voters are never going to be happy with anybody. So it just, it doesn't matter. Those voters are never going to be happy.
And if I may, this has been so interesting because Donald Trump has gotten to where he is now without much TV advertising. I mean, historically, since the Kennedy-Nixon race in the early '60s, television has played a pivotal portion of getting to be the party nominee. That is not the case here. This is all about emotion. This is all about feelings about what is and what isn't. It's from a political consultant standpoint, it's just amazing to me.
And so what are your guys' initial thoughts or early thoughts maybe about where Arizona might land? Will they just fall in line and vote for those frontrunners?
So Doug could talk about the Republicans, but for Arizona, for the Democrats, this clearly is Hillary's game.
Absolutely.
This is Hillary's show, and as I mentioned, this election in Arizona will take her to a new level, especially with Latino voters, because there was some give and take on whether or not Latinos are going to be Bernie Sanders supporters, but I think Hillary will solidify the Latino vote. And she did it with the African American vote, getting 90% in Alabama. It's incredible.
But, Zach and Amber, you have some very large Republican heavy hitters supporting Donald Trump now. You have former Governor Jan Brewer. You got Sheriff Joe Arpaio supporting Trump. Those are big names. And his state chair is sitting treasurer Jeff DeWitt on supporting Marco Rubio. You have Senator Jeff Flake and our pretty popular Attorney General Mark Brnovich. So there's some players that are gonna fight to the end. Ballots are in Arizona's hands right now. We expect probably around 550,000 Republicans showing up. You look at historical trends, that'll be about a 51% turnout. But as you all know, only Republicans can vote in the Republican primary, and only Democrats can vote in the Democrat primary. Independents and others must stay home.
Excellent. Mario Diaz and Doug Cole, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And we'll definitely be in touch, I know, through the rest of the election season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks.